Madam,
Can I sit here?
Yes.
Yes.
Or I may not reach here. You are able to reach here.
No. They have filed a counter affidavit yesterday afternoon. I have received a.
You want time?
No, they have filed.
Do you want time to file rejoinder?
No, rejoinder is not required in this matter.
Leave it to the next week. The other side is not here.
Please, my lord. My lords, I'm seeking a password of the marriage petition filed by my husband from Panvel, Maharashtra to.
I
Which
can
was the other
appear
side?
for the respondent, my lords.
Yeah.
We have filed a counter. Yes, my lords. Actually, both the parties are in the UK and she is seeking transfer to Punjab Dera Bassi. But both the parties are staying in the United Kingdom. my lords.
Allowed, what it to happen? Video conference.
Please.
My lords, I'm appealing for the petition wife, item
I
number.
beg to appear for the response.
Yes.
The counter affidavit has been filed. This is a transfer petition of wife from Hoshiarpur to Bangalore.
You want to try mediation?
My lords, we can try mediation, but
Let's-
they have been living separately since 2022. There is a compromise deed between the parties.
Whether that
Well,
is
is it-
even effect too.
I appear for the respondent. He has approached he's approached to the Supreme Court Legal Aid Services. He has specifically instructed me not to consent for mediation. Your lordships will pass an order. That's for mediation also. I'll tell him that your lordships have passed.
Mediation you can't complain. It has to be by consent of the parties.
My lords, but in this
If
case,
not willing, not willing then.
my lords, he,
My lords, the chance for settlement is very meek in this. The parties are living
Not
separately.
deported to happen. Take comfort.
Much obliged.
permitted to appear through virtual.
That's what we already said.
Grateful.
Lordship, I'm for the respondent, Lordship.
And for the petitioner, my lord. So seeking from Agra to Jaipur, my lord.
Is there any possibility of mediation?
My lord, we can.
Lordship, I'm ready for the settlement if there is possibility,
Ready.
if he explores. Grateful, Lordship.
Deported to appear through video conference.
My lords, I am for the respondent.
Lordship, I am appearing on behalf of the petitioner.
My lords, may refer us to mediation, my lords.
Mediation.
Much obliged.
Item 1, I was for the respondent. I couldn't come from behind. Item 1. I was for
We have
the,
already passed over. We have already kept it in the next week since we are not there. Since we are not there, we already kept it in the next week.
grateful.
So
We have
There's
filed
a-
a counter.
There is a traffic jam to this.
I couldn't reach up to the dais actually.
Yes, Mr. Attorney.
I have to gather myself before I say something. And let me just, respected Justice Oka, let me firstly say that we join you and your family in sharing our deepest condolences in the demise of your beloved mother. We pray for the departed soul. Like every honorable judge who adorned this court, who bring unique set of perceptions and like an artist shaping the clay, you brought with you a spectrum of values so dear to constitutional discourses, namely liberty, regulation of governance power, freedom of thought and expression, the economic and social upliftment of the deprived sections, and plowed them into your judgments. You've given us considerable food for thought, and I'm sure in times to come, the court will see the opportunities for further embedding them. You will certainly be remembered for the strong flag you waved for environmental causes, and with stern voice and emphasis. Many lessons have been taught by you in this field of human concern. They are good for governance, as they will be for the community. Your judgments in the field of criminal law are great pointers to the need for closest attention to fairness of process, the scale of punishments, and avoiding errors which may be fatal for the liberty of the accused. While you would like to talk about how truthful you were to the constitutional oath of doing justice without fear or favor, in all your opinions, and at an erect spine, as someone would like to say, all of us received equal treatment, and none went out of your court with the feeling that we did not have a day in the court, as they call it. You rightly called upon me on some occasions to demonstrate my accountability, even as the Attorney General, as any other counsel. I have cherished those questioning moments. All of us would have had such moment, occasion or the other in your court, to add to the memorable and pleasant pages of memory to be memory bank about what to learn from your court. How can we not say that we are going to miss you? Can you not say also that on many miscellaneous hearing days that your court hits centuries? We say Justice Oka has made the court a rich institution, rich in its contributions, and we thank you sincerely for the tireless work you have done. I think on the lighter side, it seems by working so tirelessly, you set a bad standard for your law clerks that there are days when they forgot to go home.
Please. My Lord, the Chief Justice, Justice Masih, and Justice Oak, my Lord. The first thing which comes to our mind when we think about Justice Oak is a tireless judge, my Lord, a workaholic who has never, my Lord, been seen ill-prepared. And in fact, my Lord, the problem was your Lordships were more prepared than us, my Lord. And this is a genuine right-handed compliment, my Lord. Your Lordships have always read everything. Lord, the most amazing thing, my Lord, which I personally find amazing is that despite, my Lord, such an irreparable loss yesterday, your Lordships put duty first, duty as a judge first. Otherwise, my Lord, your Lordships had an option of delivering judgments virtually also. But, my Lord, this is what, my Lord, which all of us will have to learn to put duty first. Lord, I am not here, my Lord, to advise your Lordships, my Lord, but I'll take the opportunity. Please spare more time for the family. The work schedule you must have followed must be such that your family also may take time to adjust with your continuous presence, because you must always been in your chamber working for the matters. But this is their rightful claim, and don't close any options. Your Lordship's services are required, my Lords. I wish your Lordships a very good health and a very good second career of your Lordship's choice. And
Third career.
third career, my Lord. I stand corrected, my Lord. I stand corrected. And though your Lordships may not believe in God, but I am a believer, my Lord, I pray that may God always be by your side. Thank you. Lord, one more thing. Your Lordships would also be remembered as a judge who took stand when it was required, my Lords. In fact, my Lord, me and Raju were almost in every case, my Lord, on the wrong side of your Lordship's judgment.
At the receiving end.
At the receiving end. But, my Lord, as I have said, that our respect and love for a judge can never depend upon the relief which we got or we did not get. Lord, thank you for being what you are. Thank you.
May I, Lord, on behalf of the entire Lord Bar Association, first of all, Lord, offer our very, Lord, heartfelt condolences for this very tragic thing which has happened, Lord, to your Lordships yesterday. It is your Lordship's, Lord, sense of duty, which is the reason why your Lordships are here today. Your Lordship's commitment to the cause of justice is exhibited by the fact that you went for the cremation and came back here today to be with us for your delivering your judgments, and also, Lord, to be with us for this, giving us this occasion, Lord, to speak about your Lordship's career. Lord, it is a matter which I can say on behalf of all the members of the bar, that we never felt that any face matters before your Lordships. We never felt, Lord, that if there was a point involved in the matter, you will not get relief. We went back many times even without getting a relief, but we never ever felt that that justice has not been done, Lord. So Lord, I'll reserve the rest for the evening, Lord, but I, Lord, sincerely hope that your Lordships have a very, meaningful third tenure. Of course, your Lordship will miss your Lordship's mother, because that is something which I thought your Lordship would have cherished after retirement. But that is not God's will. Nobody can, Lord, change that. But I'm sure, Lord, your Lordship's health, the rest of your life will be very healthy, meaningful, and as, Lord, fruitful as your Lordships have been so far to the institution.
Chief Justice, this is Masi, this is Hoke. The first name of my lords and the third name of my lords has already been widely known. It is the middle name of Srinivasa. Lordship's name had the Lord itself. You were a born judge, and throughout your life you have dispensed divine justice. Without any favor, without any ill will, true to your oath. And when in this moment of your extreme personal grief, you have come for the call of duty, on behalf of our association and members, we wish you well, always well.
My Lord, first of all, our deepest condolences. What can I say? When some judge leaves, such a vacuum is created that he can never be replaced. That's what I feel today. You know, the Constitution of India had a vision of certain socio-economic goals. And we in the country and the institutions of the country had to work together to realize those goals. But ultimately, the thematic thread that runs to our Constitution is liberty. That's the thematic thread, because the history of civilization is a history of strangulating liberty. Empires have been lost because they strangulated liberty. Slavery vanished because it strangulated liberty. Dominance of cultures, dominance of states. If they wished to strangle liberty, people rose. And therefore, a judge will be remembered only, and those are the judges in this court who will be remembered, when the cause of liberty is served through this institution. Which is why we remember Justice Khanna, which is why we remember how ADM Jabalpur was bad, which is why we remember Keshav Nand Bharti, which is why we remember Patanjali Shastri's judgments. Why? Because the thematic thread of liberty was protected by this court. And you symbolize that. You protected liberty like none else did in this court. And I remember the words of Patrick Henry in the Revolution, in the American Revolution, when he said, "Give me liberty or give me death." And John Donne, the famous poet, said, "Give me liberty, for were paradise my prison, I would love to leap the crystal walls." You have leapt that crystal wall that enslaved people in this country, and we salute you for it. Thank you for being what you are and what you were. We'll cherish your memory. And I have a little poem for you, which I hope I can read this evening. God bless you. Have a prosperous future. And I know that you will continue, even though your family will want you together. But I know you will continue to do, because you have a passion for law, which you can never leave. God bless you.
Chief Justice, Justice Mercy, and of course, Justice Oka. Our very deepest condolences. And at least I'm not surprised by the work ethic you have displayed, because we've seen it all these years. In fact, as the solicitor said, we have the problem that you were over ready in many cases. a few months ago, actually, a whole group of lawyers, including from Maharashtra, were walking in the corridor and they stopped to talk about different courts. And I was sitting there. And they went court to court. And when your courts came, I said, "You know this man's name?" So they recited the full name. So I said, his revered parents could not have found a better first name. Your Lordship epitomizes the word Abhay. Absolutely ramrod, unconcerned about anything except what you think is right. You may be wrong, but what you think is right comes first. And I think that is something which is very, very cherished, very special. And we felt it in every case. Subject matter neutral. And that's a trait you've carried through all these years, and preserved it is itself quite remarkable. It's not easy with the pressures you face there. You have had many guiding poll stars. You've had, of course, liberty and environmentalists too, but others also. But you've always done justice in those subjects according to law. You've not allowed yourself to be carried away because we know that you have these cherished ideas. But you've tried to always do justice according to law. And in many cases of liberty, you've denied relief where the concept, the law, the facts, the context doesn't deserve it. And we all appreciate that. I would like to end by saying that our interactions in the court with you were highly interactive and sometimes very sharp. You rarely kept back anything. You said what came to your mind, and you said it straight, you said it strong. And I'm not talking of myself, but a lot of people here. But the important thing is you never kept that sharp exchange in your heart. You were transparently open, simple, like transparent running water. And so we knew that when we left the court after the sharpest of exchanges, neither you nor anybody else here carried anything. And that's another great trait for a judge. We wish you well. We do unanimously believe a PIL on behalf of your family for some more time with the family would be justified. You should find that time for that. But all the very best and good health and Godspeed.
My Lord, the Chief Justice.
Lord, your Lordships did one more amazing thing today. Making Dr. Singhvi speak without being paid for it.
Yes.
He rarely do that. He rarely does that.
Oh, yeah, he's there in every ceremonial bench.
Justice is a testimony to that. That he's again making a tendentious statement. As he does in every time he opposes me.
You better withdraw that.
But Dr. Singhvi, this will continue forever.
Yes,
Go ahead and see.
Yes, now this becomes a tradition.
My Lord, the Chief Justice.
May
Go ahead. My Lord.
Justice Oka.
Oak.
First,
My Lord Justice.
I think I
Yes,
can
sir.
have that advantage of seniority. Yes. So first, my condolences for your bereavement, sir, and speaks volumes of the fact that so soon after bereavement you are here today. Sir, I'm reminded of Justice Young, Chief Justice of Lahore High Court in 1925, when he was asked, what do you look around in a lawyer to recommend his elevation? He said, I look around for a gentleman with a backbone and lots of law thrown into him. I think it applies squarely to Justice Oka as he retires. And only question that the lawyers had, why? Why so soon? And that distinguishes when lawyers or judges say when and when. So wish you all the very best, sir. And I have appeared before you in Karnataka High Court also twice. And your prime object was to dispense justice, come what may. May you have a very, you've not yet retired, but I can say that the last working day, may I have a very blissful, happy, retired life. Thank you.
Lord Justice Oak, my heartfelt condolences on the sad demise of your beloved mother. I pray that her soul rests in eternal peace. Justice Oak, I enjoyed every moment of my interaction in your Lordship's court. I love the way you dealt complicated issues, laughingly, smilingly, and simplified things. Though I was many times at the receiving end, as my senior, the Solicitor General has said, I enjoyed every moment of it. I never felt that the judgment was against me. I always felt that justice was being delivered. And there are some judgments like Pavana Debur, where your lordship have balanced everything. In Pavana Debur is one judgment which is cited by the prosecution for one point and the defense for the other point. Hats off to the judgment in Pavana Debur and several other matters. The list goes on and on. Then your lordship may kindly say that I would have loved to appear in your court as a defense counsel. That was one thing I was deprived of. I mean, that was not my luck. But I had the vicarious pleasure.
You had a choice. You did not exercise it.
No, I vicariously exercised. I'll tell my lords how. There are one or two judgments from Gujarat where I had appeared as a defense counsel came to my lords, and my lords have confirmed my submissions there. Therefore, vicariously, I've enjoyed appearing before my lords as a defense counsel. I had been to Karnataka to argue one or two matters. I was amazed by the respect. Each and every lawyer, not one was, every lawyer was full of respect for my lords. And they said, hats off to my lords for the respect that you have been bestowed in the Karnataka, though you were there as a Chief Justice for a short time. Then my lords may kindly have a look, my lords. I had bumped into my lords once in a morning walk. I rarely go for morning walks in parks. This time I went to Sundarnas. Last time, if my lords recollect, I went to Lodi Garden where I bumped into Justice Khanna. This time I bumped into my lord in Sundar Nursery. My lord was having his morning walk with his wife, and I just said hello, hi, nothing much. But now I wish your lords that your lords may regularly, and my lord told me that I go only once on a Sunday or something. I wish my lords have a morning walk daily.
Oh, he does go for a morning walk daily. He goes to Sundarbat once in a week. Other days he goes to Lodi Garden or Nehru Park.
So I wish my lord good luck, lot of happiness, health, joy, and best future, sir. Thank you.
My lord, if I may just steal something from Dr. Singhvi, I have 4 points to make. Pointillism. The first is that when you first came here, I remember asking, and we always do this, I think it's an open secret. We ask our friends from the state, how is this judge? And Mr. Chandar Uday Singh told me, you know, that when he was made a judge of the Bombay High Court, he didn't take the official residences. He would take all his files in his car, perhaps a Fiat or something, and go all the way back to Thane and stay there and read his files on his way up and back. It's a huge amount of simplicity and sacrifice that judges have to undertake and what you have undertaken. Your tenure in Bombay and in Karnataka, where I've had the opportunity to appear as well as here, has been a hallmark for liberty and for environment. I'm afraid that I have tested your patience much more than many have, perhaps. And but like my friend said before me, I know it's never held in the heart. I'm glad to see that. I definitely don't. I think sometimes in our yearning for creating justice, we sometimes cross certain thresholds. So on my behalf, I apologize if that has happened. I'm extremely grateful for what you've done for this institution. The others have spoken about your first two names. I speak about the third, which for me was unpronounceable because I wasn't sure if it's Oak or Oka or Okay initially. But the Americans say sturdy as an oak. That's exactly what you have been for this institution. Institutions thrive on individuals. And we are so grateful to have you here. I think it's a great tribute to what this country offers, that two sons of Maharashtra adorn this high bench. And I know both of you have been friends and colleagues for so many years. I wish you all the very, very best to you and your family. I see many of your extended family from the Bombay High Court here as well, present and past. And my compliments for a fantastic tenure.
My Lord, I will put in the fewest of few words. I will use a Latin maxim, Latin. Omnes manera, we all love Justice Oka. That is all. One sentence, the love and affection, the respect of the bar. Bombay, Bangalore, wherever your lordships. And that is something which will last forever. I wish your lordship all the best. and my condolences as well.
Hey, please, my lord. I'd like to say something, the kind of impact you have given, not just for the councils who have appeared before you. The National Judicial Academy had the privilege of requesting your lordships whenever there is a topic on judicial ethics. Your lordship was the standard feature in all those programs, may it be in the academy or in the various regional conferences, where we have seen hundreds and hundreds of young judicial officers listening to your inspiring talk, filled with practical experiences and examples, and how they used to throng your lordships after the talk, made your photo opportunity, or trying to collect more details, have inspired hundreds of judicial officers across the nation, something which is very, very impactful as to this very constitutional body. Two, my lords have said that it is Justice Thakkar who had chosen you, a judge who has been very, very active. 20 years of your judicial journey, Justice Thakkar would feel very, very happy about his choice on you as a judge. Three, that's what Leonard SG said, and also my colleagues. Sometimes we do have spent a few sleepless nights, especially when we have to stand up the next day to appear in matters relating to contempt. But what was fourthly, most important is what we just saw few minutes ago in Court 3, when your lordship was about to rise after delivering 11 judgments. The kind of encomium spontaneously paid. Someone said, we will ever cherish being an amicus in your court. Someone said, how you save lands, how you save thousands of crores of exchequer's revenue. And more important, your brother judge saying it was such a wonderful partnership and journeying with you. We have also had sometimes the occasion to stand by your side and take a photograph, which personally, I consider it a very, very privileged moment in my life. We wish you the very, very best and the best of health and best of happiness. People say you may believe, you may not believe in God. You have been a practitioner of Satya and Dharma, and that's God, which your lordship has lived throughout your life and forever.
My Lord, the
My
Chief
Lord
Justice.
Justice Oka.
Ms. Goswami, it's running for long.
My lords, rarely is a person so appropriately named as you were. Abhay, fearless, Oak, sheltering those who need it, unyielding and standing tall. You epitomize the best in a judge. Thank you not just for your service to this country, but thank you also for teaching us in cases like MC Mehta, where you moved institutions to try to comply just by your sheer belief that this city deserves a better environment. That is a great, great legacy for any judge to be able to move institutions and move lawyers to a different perspective. I wish you all the very, very best, fearless Abhay Oka.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of India, my Lord Justice Masi, and the ever dynamic and ever young, my Lord Justice Abhay Oka. Lords, I had the privilege of being a witness to your journey as a practicing advocate in the Bombay High Court, as a judge of the Bombay High Court, and I never thought that I would come here and had an occasion to appear before your Lordship as the Additional Solicitor General of India. My Lords, we have learnt a lot from you. As the guardian judge of the City Civil and Sessions Court in Mumbai, my Lords, you are the man of action, my Lords. Anything, any, my Lords, suggestion or grievance which is made, my Lord, immediately on that day itself it would have been sorted out, my Lord. That was the quickest mode in which your Lordship would act, my Lord. My Lords, again, my Lords, two things about your Lordship, my Lord. Number one, my Lords, the way in which, my Lord, your Lordship follows the punctuality, my Lord, there is no parallel this thing now. The other day when there was a oath ceremony of my Lord Justice, the Chief Justice of India, my Lord, my eyes were not on the watch but on my Lordship, because I had matters at serial number 1 before your Lordship, my Lord. And that is how, my Lords, we all are, so long as, my Lords, we follow the footsteps, what your Lordship has said, my Lord, I think it will be a bright future for the entire judiciary. And my lords, I must say that one remarkable thing is that, which has been also mentioned, that your lordship's preparation on the brief is more than the preparation of the parties or the councils who are appearing in the matter. That is something which is amazing. And lastly, but not least, and very importantly, my lord, your lordship's mood right from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 is the same. We have never seen any ups and downs in that mood, my lord. The same is whether senior or junior, whether any person of a party appearing in person also, your lordships have given full satisfaction, my lord. I pray to the Almighty, my lord, your lordship gives a lot of good health, peace, and lot of time now can be spent your family.
My lords, if I can have just 2 minutes.
Young man, let that young man speak.
Yes.
It's an absolute privilege to stand here today, not only as Justice Oak's first law clerk in the Supreme Court, but it's also only the first time I can stand before him wearing my robe and a gown and speak from the bar to the bench. As a first generation lawyer, I often worried about finding the right guidance in my early career. In that sense, having Sir as my first boss was not only a boon, but also a bit of a bane. The boon was extraordinary. I learned what true dedication, integrity, and excellence look like in practice. Sir taught me how to find the crux in a case, how to critically think, and how to advocate with clarity and precision. The bane, I would say, that he has set the bar so high that every office now I go to, I have to compare it with him. What sets so truly apart that he never treated us, his law clerks, which I mean like former and present, as mere law clerks. We were his students. He was deeply invested in our learning, our growth, and our well-being. He treated us like family with kind of patience, humility, and generosity that's rare and unforgettable. Since joining the bar, the question I'm most often asked is, how is Justice Oak always so well prepared? How does he read the file in such great detail? That, I'm afraid, remains a proprietary intellectual property, and I have no intention of breaching that confidentiality today. But I'll say this, briefing him each evening taught me something which no textbook could ever: when to speak, how to speak, and most importantly, when to stay silent. Yesterday, Sir took his first day off in his entire tenure in the Supreme Court, following the untimely demise of his beloved mother. And today, on his final day, he returned to the bench and pronounced over 11 judgments. This single act speaks volume about the commitment he has to the institution, to his work, and to justice himself. I'll always remain deeply grateful for not just having him as my first boss, but for having him as a mentor for my life. Thank you, sir.
May I submit, my lord?
Your lordships.
May I submit, my lord? I am submitting on behalf of all the lawyers who argue their case their own, hardly engaged senior advocates, Lord. I am practicing here, my lord, last 25 years, especially in criminal side. I have seen hundred of judges, but if we count 5 judges, my lord, who are the best, my lord Oak is one of the that 5, Lord. My lord never distinguished whether is senior is appearing or junior is appearing. In one case, I have never, in my case was listed, my lord, and I was not there, even though my lord allowed the appeal, reading the file. That was our view, my lord. We who are not senior advocate, we always miss you, my lord.
My lords, may we?
Miss Arora.
I'm so grateful, my lords. My lords Chief Justice, my Lord Justice Messi, and Justice Oak. It's your day today. We are extremely sorry for your loss, but we also admire this strength that you have pulled up to be here on this day, deliver your commitments before demitting this office. My lords, there is your oath of doing justice without fear or favor. You have truly lived up to that oath of this particular office. It's not just fear of favor that we have watched, but it's true to your conscience. And I think being true to the conscience is one of the most important things which a judge can be. It does not matter, you may be right, you may be wrong, but it's something that you believe in without fear or favor. As somebody said before me, we have always said, what is it that you look in a judge? And I remember in one of your sessions, it was said, spine, 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 and spine. And I think you truly epitomize that, and that's what we look for in anyone who's here. My lords, I will not take time for many of my friends. There's a lot to say, but I wish you Godspeed. I wish you a good life hereafter, your third innings, whatever that you choose to have, and also perhaps some time to stay back and reflect. Keep on speaking on the rights and liberties, just as you have spoken from the bench, even outside, because that is what is really most needed today. Godspeed to you, Judge. Have a wonderful life, a great health. Thank you.
Mr. Roscoe.
Justice Oka. One of the most commendable aspects of your legacy is your judicial humility. Even while presiding over some of the most complex legal questions of our time, you remain ever respectful of different opinions and open to diverse perspective. You understood that the majesty of law lies not in its articulation, but in its application to uplift and empower. Your departure from this court is not the end of your contribution to the law. Your judgments will continue to cite it, your ideas debated. Your presence on the bench has strengthened the public faith in the judiciary. May your wisdom continue to enlighten and inspire generations to come. May your next chapter be filled with joy and satisfaction that comes from a life lived in service to the justice. Wishing you all the very best, Justice Oka.
Plus, your lordship was a citizen's judge, and your lordship's court epitomized that courts are meant for citizens and not for governments. Because I had an opportunity to appear both for the both sides. Your lordship's court was a breeze when one was on the side of the citizen, but when the government was on the wrong, we faced the full fury of the court. I just realized one poem is actually Rudyard Kipling's poem, and I think it's meant for somebody exactly like you. I'll just read portions of it and I'll end. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for them doubting too. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you. If all men count with you but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance runs, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Your lordships, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Singh.
My lord, I don't think I can do better than to recount what a brilliant young lawyer from Karnataka called me up when your lordship was approved to be elevated to the Supreme Court. I get this call and she was almost wailing at the other end, saying, "Sir, please don't take away our chief." I don't think one can have a better tribute than that. So I told her, I said, our need is greater than yours. And you have lived up to that expectation, Judge. There's a lot of criticism. I mean, from time to time, people seek to criticize the collegium system. But the fact that a judge like you is here, with your track record in the Bombay High Court and the Karnataka High Court, being known as a fiercely independent judge, and you're here, I think shows that the collegium system works. It may not always work perfectly, but it works. In fact, all three of you who are sitting here are testimony to that. But today is your day, Judge, and we can only thank you from the bottom of our hearts and wish you well. Yes,
Well, what steely stuff you are made of, I think I had a first-hand experience, and today I will not spare you on this because I think you know what I'm talking about, but I think it's important for the junior members also of the bar to know this. This was perhaps my lone experience before you, my lone matter before you in the Bombay High Court. You were recently elevated, and I was in a very hopeless situation. It was a very important public cause that was going to be lost, and I could see the writing on the wall. I was up against, I knew what I was up against, and my Lord Justice Oka was sitting in a division bench, and you saw, he came in like literally a knight in shining armor to save the day for the matter, which was really important for the city of Bombay, and really saved the day. And you saw the power of a junior judge, and we're talking about, I think, nearly 20 years ago. So I think it's really important, and for me, it reinforced my faith in the system, and to know that even in moments of great pessimism, there will be people who stand up there and do what it takes. So thank you for that. And I think it's an important lesson for all of us. Also today, I think we heard from Justice Trivedi, your tradition of pushing the car when the judge retires. And I will say that today you will leave with truckloads of respect behind you.
Yes, Prishana.
Yes.
May I, with the permission of the Chief Justice, say a few words? Your Lord, sorry. Your Lordships have lived up to your name. You've been fearless in your thoughts. You've been fearless in your actions. And just like an oak tree in the forest, which is so critical to our ecosystem, you have been very critical to our ecosystem. Over 350 judgments, I don't know, I haven't added the ones today, been there every single day. The same energy, be it item 1 or be it 76.1, we would be exhausted. Your Lordships would not be exhausted. For your Lordships, we have seen the Constitution has been your mool mantra. So therefore, there was no question of any fear or favor. You had your compass, you navigated through the system, and that was your torchlight. You have, your name would be etched in history because you have protected the most fundamental of freedoms, that is liberty, freedom of speech. And not only that, your Lordships have also today, your Lordships leaves us much richer, much stronger, of course, much sadder, but you leave this court with honor. You have inspired us, and your Lordships, all I can say is, may God bless you. And from the MC Mehta team, of course, we thank you for your patience and for your contribution. Thank you.
My Lord Chief Justice, Justice Oka, at the outset, my condolences for the personal loss that you've had. Some 20 years back, I had one case in the Bombay High Court, being a commercial matter, and that too before the Bombay High Court. There was one big opportunity, and the client could afford only me at that stage. And it was a section 34 before the original side, and all local lawyers said it's not going to be easy to get judge to take it up. But suddenly the roster changes, and my Lord Justice Oka is in the roster. They said this is one judge whom you can move the matter before and get it argued and also get an order. And lo and behold, I go before the court. There's a judge sitting there very studiously looking at papers amidst tomes and tomes of paper on the original side on the ground floor. My lords may not recall that. And cut the flashback and come here. 20 years down the line, the same thing is happening even in Supreme Court. A much younger Justice Oka in Bombay 20 years back, but no less smarter, even after 20 years in the Supreme Court, the same work culture, the same commitment to work. And hats off to the judge for making this a much better court than what we have seen in certain occasions. And one more thing, my lords, I must say, in the MC Mehta matters, having been amicus, we were pushed to proactively assist the court, and your anxiety to make the place a better place, the capital a better place, is something which will never be forgotten. And in 2 words, my lords, you epitomize 2 things. You epitomize what the Supreme Court calls the sentinel on the quiver. You were such a guardian of personal liberties. And secondly, my lords, the 4 I's which I always believe are required in a judge, and you have had all of them with a capital I. Intellect, integrity, independence, and, my lords, industry. And this is something which is a lesson for all of us, and I'm sure all of us and the younger bar is enriched by what you have given to us, and we'll always be thankful to you. And I also wish you a very good retirement life and a 3rd innings, as everybody has been saying. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Lord, I must say that it only epitomizes your personality that despite a personal loss of such a great magnitude, you were here back to do your duty. And we have nothing but admiration for you. Having had a similar loss a few years ago, I completely understand. Secondly, every visit to your court reminded me of the oath judges take on the Constitution without fear or favor to abide the Constitution and uphold the laws. Your sensitivity to liberty has not been lost. A lot of my friends have already spoken about it, and I will not add more. But I will only say this. I wish we would have had you longer, but society needs you more. So I wish you a great innings, and we hope that you will remember us, and we will have the opportunity to engage. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ramadi has been there
Yes,
for long.
May it please your lordship. This is one of those rare occasions, at least to me at the bar, where words don't come very easily because it's an emotive moment.
We will certainly miss your lordship. A quotation from the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. It says that the future is determined by what we do in the present. And what we've done in the present, what this court has done in the present, certainly, my lords, holds a bright future for liberty, fraternity, and equality. I wish your lordships all the best in retirement, my lords.
Yes, Your Honor.
Grateful.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lordships, I might be accused of bias, but what we learned from your lordships, and it bears repetition, is that never lose the capacity to outrage at injustice. Lordships, we in the legal fraternity, we see it so up close that we become a bit immune. And sitting in your court from item 1 to item 75, this is what I learned, that never stop being outraged. And your lordships, I'll keep it short. As I've already said before, I'll proudly tell the posterity that I was an amicus in Justice Oak's court.
Your Honor. Let's.
My Lord, I am speaking for Mrs. Oak. वहिनी आपण तुम्ही पुढे याल का? Whatever Justice Oak could do, I have seen him as a lawyer, as my own very dear colleague, and a judge appearing before your lordship's court. Whatever was spoken about him, the silent supporter is Mrs. Oak. वहिनी धन्यवाद, सर्वांच्या तर्फे धन्यवाद. आणि अभय आता तुम्हाला पूर्ण टाइम असेल, वेळ देईल आपल्यासाठी.
ते चुकीचं आहे.
And I just wanted to say thanks to her.
That's only one line, Malats.
I request all of you to be brief.
Malats, only one line. Malats, it's a privilege, Malats, to have been in the Supreme Court practicing in your era. We can always proudly say we practiced in Supreme Court when Judge Abhay Oka was the judge of the Supreme Court. Malats, it's a great learning experience. And Malats, your steely resolve, Malats, to clean the system, to clean the country of Malats, whatever Malats you deemed was incorrect. Malats, it's always a privilege to have been here. Practicing before you and Malats appearing before you.
Yes, Mr. Mishra.
Deeply obliged.
Mr. Mishra.
Yes. My Lord, I have to say a small word that one problem bar was facing while accused was being released by your lordship by granting them bail. So sometimes accused were released after 10 days, 15 days, although various orders were passed by this honorable court. In one of the matter, I brought these problems before my Lord Justice Oak. Since then, whenever my Lord was releasing any accused on bail, my Lord was always directing that the accused person should be produced before the court within a week. Since then, my Lord, all accused were being released whenever your lordship was granting bail to them within a week. So this was a very great contribution, according to me, regarding the accused persons, my lord. So I am already agreeable with the other speech made by the other learned senior counsel as well as others. So I wish my lords very happy, healthy, and prosperous retirement.
With my lord's permission, my lords. My lords, we have seen one of the best judges in the recent. That's number one. Number two, my lords have been fair, humane, just, and impartial to both the sides. And when it came to armed forces matters, I must say that my lords always actually had the soft corner towards the Jawans. And that's very rightly, my lords have always delivered judgments with absolute impartiality. My lords, you have played your innings with a straight back. There was no slip shots. There was no mistiming hooks. And absolutely, my lords, your judgments with so much of clarity and authority, my lords, and all that we can do, my lords, we wish you the very best in all the things that you are going to do so that you continue to inspire us and the younger generations. We wish you good luck.
Yes,
my lords, much has been said about Justice Oak's career as a lawyer and as a judge, Chief Justice of Karnataka, and in the Supreme Court, judge of the Supreme Court. I must say something about how a model litigant he was when he was Chief Justice of Karnataka. I had the privilege of being the counsel for the High Court of Karnataka. If an affidavit had to be filed in the Supreme Court, I would get a message from the Registrar General, and Justice Oak would spend hours and meticulously go through everything, convey instructions. And most of the litigation, my lords, involving the high courts are not adversarial, to give effective assistance to your lordships in this court. And my lord, on the administrative side, that is the great capability that was displayed by Justice Oak. I wish him all the very best. Thank you.
Yes,
May I please?
Your Honor, on behalf of Supreme Court Lawyers Forum, as well as citizen of this country, many people called me that today you can say few words, so that I am here. We express our gratitude and heartfelt thanks for your tireless dedication to upholding the Constitution and protecting the fundamental right of every citizen of this country. Our deep appreciation for your unwavering commitment to the justice, ensuring that the voiceless were heard and the marginalized were protected. Your Honor, we express our profound gratitude for your fearless defense of liberty and expression, safeguarding the soul of our democracy. We very thankful for your immense thankful for your service as a beacon of hope, ensuring justice was accessible and equitable for all, as well as sincere acknowledgement for your relentless pursuit of fairness, leaving an indelible mark on Indian judiciary. Your Honor, we appreciate your courageous guardianship. Your resolute stand on freedom of expression and personal liberty has fortified the pillar of the Constitution. Being judicial luminary, your erudite judgments from Imran Pratap Gadi to Pavana Devar reflect a profound commitment to constitutional values. Your Honor, you are champion of justice. Your legacy as a protection of Article 21, rights, privacy, shelter, and fair trial will inspire generation of advocates. And Your Honor, one more thing. You are the torch bearer for protecting the fundamental right, particularly right to expression and liberty, and this message to each and every common citizen of this country. And people are feeling such the name of a judge of Supreme Court discussed in the each and every corner of the country. That is the biggest achievement of any judge of a constitutional court, in particular in the Supreme Court, Your Honor. All you are before me are the illuminating judges of this court, the country hoping for that. And Your Honor, one more thing.
Thank you. Yes, Mr.
Yes. Last one word, Your Honor.
Please be brief.
Yes, brief. So we express our profound gratitude and admiration for your exemplary service to the nation as a Justice of Supreme Court of India. So we honor your remarkable contribution to the judiciary, particular unwavering commitment to safeguarding fundamental rights. I am personally, as well as crores of citizens of this country, are paying this gratitude and this appreciation through me. That's only. Thank you very much.
Please be brief.
Yes, my lord, there is a feeling of sadness in the whole corridors of the Supreme Court, my lords. We are losing a brilliant judge who never differentiated between a raw junior with a 1 or 2 years experience and a senior most lawyer over here, my lords. The way my lords stood for the personal liberty, my lords, would be remembered in the history, my lords. The way my lords have taken up the work, that on the last day I have not seen 11 judgments being delivered. My lords said in 2 days back that my lords don't agree with this practice, that on the last day that we should not work till 4 p.m. I'm so grateful, my lords, to have my lords. I'm wishing you a very happy life, my lords. Grateful, my lords.
May I please, my lord?
Your permission, my lords.
My lord, I had few occasions to appear before my lords. My lords, in my college days, I studied that there are 3 sources of law: legislation, custom, and judicial precedent. My lord, now I have learned from my lord that there is another source of law, that is inner conscience, and that is the mother of all these 3. My lord, another thing is that, my lord, that we all have witnessed Article 14 being implemented in my Lord's court, best effective manner, my lords. My lords, I wish all the best, my lord. I pray that Mahadev gives you all the happiness and great health and great strength at this stage, my lord.
Yes, buddy.
May it please. Lords, I must confess, my lords, it's not easy to be a young counsel in this court, my lords. As my lord would say, it's stalwarts all around, my lords. As young counsels, my lords, we often feel intimidated. But that was not the case with my lords. If I can just share a small anecdote, my lords. Inevitably appearing for the state, my lords, I have always failed before my lords to convince to my point of view, my lords. But in one of the matters, my lords, I argued and I thought I was doing a good job for the state. I was facing a Baraja question which I was trying to answer. I failed. But while stepping out, my lords were pleased to appoint me amicus in the next matter for the complainant. It was not any ability on my part, my lords. It was only thing I saw was to encourage a young counsel at the bar who was trying to make his way, my lords. The only complaint I have, my lords, and I join with everyone's good things what my lords have heard, is we had to read more, my lords, when we have to appear before my lords. Yours is the only court, my lords, where I have to read the affidavit and the vakalatnam as well before I appeared in court, lest there be no mistake, my lords. Because I can only, it was a privilege, my lords. That's
Yes,
all.
Mr. Deshpande.
Lord, I would say.
No, let him be there in queue. First, let those who are in queue, let them complete it.
Sure.
Just one line submission, my lords. When the E-committee was at a dormant stage, my
Don't
lords.
say submission.
He has the freedom of expression.
I know.
Lords, when the E-committee or.
Submission, I'll immediately stop you.
I beg pardon, lords. When the E-committees were not established at that time, lords, when I started in 2003 in district courts, scanning work was going on. Lion's contribution goes to your lordships, everybody, my lords. The Honorable Chief Justice of India, my lords and your lordships in Jabalpur, MPs and all over the country. At that stage, your lordships were creating a major share in the Bombay High Court, establishing the E-committees, the E-courts websites. So I really express the gratitude on behalf of all the Taluka district lawyers and the Honorable Bombay High Court, and wish you all the best, my lords. And whatever the divine path is there, we all express our prayers on behalf of all the esteemed bar, the senior advocates.
Yes, Mr. Rodgi, we'll have to make you free early because it's a
I would say,
Friday.
Ramrod straight, keen intellect, extremely hardworking and industrious, but somewhat inflexible and somewhat low in the humor in the first few years, which has also changed for the better. So I wish his lordship, my lord, the best. And I must say, my lord, I met his lordship in Lodi Garden the other day and requested him that he should stay in Delhi. It's a better place than Bombay. And my lord, if he wants to work, there's a lot of work going around in Delhi also. With these remarks, my lord, I would wish his lordship and his family well. And I'm sorry, my lord, for the death of his our mother, which happened. My lordship came here today, which is a great sacrifice, my lord, for these traditions. I wish his lordship well, my lord, the best of the innings.
Lord, let me begin with this thing. This time there won't be any incorrect statement or concealment of fact. This is straight from my heart, my lord. Your lordship had made me from a God-fearing man to a God-loving man. And your lordship have made me, personally speaking, my lords, to be very responsible, diligent, my lords, and of course, my lords, hardworking. I thank you from the core of my heart, and I am really sorry that I troubled your lordship. I had a checkered history with your lordships for some quite of time, but I have learned my lesson, my lords. And I just wish to apologize that I really troubled your lordship in some moment of time. But I wish you good luck, good health, and a good future, lordships.
Yes.
Lord, I have. My lord, actually, I don't know what to say, my lords, but as a first generation lawyer, my lords, I participated in a policy of granting bail matters. Well, as when we were appearing for AOR exam, leading case, in that leading case, we had gone through many judgments and orders, like Justice Khanna, Justice Kania, Justice Chinnappa, Justice Bhagavati, Justice Krishna, etc. And my lord, they paved the way. And my lords, we got one more wonderful name to our, my lords. Last June, my lords, if you recollect, I argued a criminal matter. I mentioned, yesterday listed, but my lords, little bit scolded me, what is the urgency? Then after vacation order, I said, but your lordship may hear the matter then. This is what we are trust you, my lords, and of course, especially first generation lawyers, you appreciated a lot. We never forget. We really miss you, my lords. Grateful to my lords.
Yes, sir.
Lord, I've appeared extensively before Justice Oak, mostly been at the receiving end. But one thing which was consistent throughout, my lord, which I felt was that my lords instilled the highest ethical standards in the bar on our side, my lord. And my lords, I always felt that if there are inconvenient facts, it is best if you point it out to the court at the outset, which is against you. So in that sense, my lords upheld the Gandhian principle, my lord, howsoever inconvenient the truth is, you must always state it. That's number one, my lord. Number two, this one rare occasion where my lords held in favor of ED,
my lords, humorously, after dictating the order, said, Mr. Zoeb, we showed you we can also decide in favor of ED. So the humor in this court, my lord, was always intact. Even after issuing contempt notices, my lords have given us a smile. And my lord, it has been a great privilege of appearing before my lord, and my lord will be remembered for, say, for my lord, decades to come. My lord. I'm grateful, my lord.
On the lighter side, my lords, many of us felt like we were recruited in the Your Lordship's court, my lords. But we just want to pay our respect and admiration and love and affections to a true Karma Yogi. We are so grateful and that we had the privilege of appearing.
Yes, go.
Lord, to make it very brief, Lord, your Lordship not came, saw, and my Lord conquered. Lord conquered our hearts, so to say, my Lord. We, my Lord, in this country, my Lord, we come from different places, my Lord. Time and again, my Lord, a thought crosses our mind as to whether we did the right decision, whether we came to the Supreme Court was correct. But it is because of the quality of the likes of Justice Oka, my Lord, that these thoughts, my Lord, are immediately, my Lord, disbanded. And we feel proud, my Lord, to be part of this institution where, my Lord, the likes of Justice Oka, my Lord, have presided.
Yes.
Much grateful.
Borrow a phrase from my Lord Justice Oka. On first principles, my Lord, we will say that my Lords had an admirably patient mind, abhorred infraction of personal liberty, my Lord. We're extremely thankful to that, especially on behalf of legal aid, my Lord. Whenever you used to say it's a legal aid matter, my Lord would give us the extra elbow room to play with the joints, my Lord. Much appreciated.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, my Lord, that Gandhiji's talisman has truly been implemented by your Lordship, Justice Oak, my Lord. And that's something that remarkable because that's really the test of how the Constitution reaches the last man in the country, Lord. That's
Lord, I'll be very, very brief.
They are with the line, they are in queue.
Your Lordship.
They are in queue, let them first complete, please.
I represent Central India, my Lord, and I have argued various matters before my lords, and I can only say your empathy, sympathy, because I still remember, my lord, a soldier from Siachen. He was just having a blood pressure, and because of which he was not getting the pension. The way my lords dealt it matter with empathy and sympathy, my lord, I can say my generation has read the judgments of Honorable Justice Vivian Bose, Justice Hidayatullah, Justice G.P. Singh, but the next generation will definitely remember and will read the judgments of my lords. Wish you a very, very healthy life, my lord, in the second innings.
My Lord Justice Oak, the one distinguishing feature of my lords was to see beyond the obvious law and to reach out to justice. That is something which distinguished my lord all through in his, I appeared before my lord, and my lord truly lived to the motto of this honorable court, Yato Dhams Tato Jaya. My lord not only looked at the law, when it is matter of personal liberty, reached out. So, my lord, we wish you a very, very happy retired life and healthy life. And we are grateful that we had a judge like you and we appeared and had the opportunity to assist.
Also, everybody has stated a lot about your lordship's judgments. May I just quote one judgment, which is Chandrakant versus MK Associates. Perhaps your lordships remember it, where this is the observation made by the judge. While parting, I would like to make a special mention regarding the fairness of Mr. Oak, advocate. He conducted the matter with a sense of detachment. In his own inimitable style, he did the wonderful act of balancing his duty to his client and as an officer of the court concerned in the administration of justice. The code which obligates the advocate to disregard the instructions if they conflict with his duty to the court is not a code of law, it is a code of honor. Your lordships have upheld this code. It's no wonder that your lordships expected the same of us. Your lordships have laid down this standard which we can only try to match. And my lords, we say this routinely when we conclude our arguments, but let us mean it today when we say we're obliged.
Just 3 sentences, your lordships. Your lordships was a textbook example as to how a judge should be. Your lordships, the way your lordships have streamlined many of the reforms in the subordinate judiciary are really praiseworthy. Your lordships, it was our honor to appear before your lordships during your tenure here, and we wish you all the best.
While endorsing the views of my learned colleagues, I congratulate Honorable Justice Oak for maintaining public confidence by way of your devotion and dedication to the work. Your Lordship was one of those judges who were not rising for lunch even, because there was a lot of work. So I congratulate him. I express my
The best wishes. All the best to your lordship.
So Dinesh, last one.
Yes, my lords. Unfortunately,
Finish your work and came here.
yes, my lords. Unfortunately, the retirement age is 65, my lords. And for some
Not
judges,
unfortunately,
for some judges, it should not be 65, my lords. And given an opportunity, everybody in this courtroom wanted to speak, my lords, and the silence speaks volumes. And we love you and we miss you, my lords.
Yes, Mr. Odil, last word.
First of all, my lord, I must say, a great tribute to the great soul, my lord, whom we lost yesterday, who was given birth in the body. She must be a very, very happy soul wherever she is today. And as we bid farewell to your lordship, my lord, we must say that we are all sad. We are all sad that one court where all juniors would feel so relaxed to appear. My record, of course, has been 100%, my lord, and so would be any person, my lord. Whether for the petitioner or respondent, the lordship has been equal to everyone, and justice has been the only criteria for the lordship. Lord, I wish your lordship a very, very happy, healthy, and a satisfactory retired life. Wherever your lordship will be remembered for all time to come. So great.
My learned brother, Mr. Abhay Oka, my brother Justice Augustine Masi, my colleagues, present and past from Bombay High Court, Srimati Anuja Oka and family members, R. Venkatramani, the learned Attorney General for India, Tushar Mehta, the learned Solicitor General of India, the other law officers of Government of India, Vita Singh, the President of SCBA, and other office bearers, Mr. Kapil Sibal, the immediate past President of SCBA, and the former office bearers of the association, the senior advocates, designated, non-designated. It is a difficult task to speak at the retirement of someone like Justice Oka, who has been a friend of me for the last more than 40 years. To attempt to sum up his legacy in a few words feels both humbling and daunting, for his contributions extend far beyond judgments. They reflect a deep dedication to the Constitution, to fairness, and to the people of this country. My association with Justice Oka dates back to the time we were lawyers in 1985. Later, we were both elevated to the bench of the Bombay High Court in the same year, 2003. Thereafter, in 2019, he went to Karnataka. I came here, and after some time, he also joined us in the Supreme Court. For the early days, till now, our journey has been marked by collegiality, shared commitment, and mutual respect. Over the years, I have known him not just as an outstanding judge, but also as an extraordinary and supportive colleague, trusted friend, and above all, an exemplary human being. Justice Oka's contribution to Indian jurisprudence is widely acknowledged. Over the years, his judgments have shaped and strengthened the legal landscape of our country, whether it was in the domain of environmental protection, ensuring that development does not come at the cost of ecological balance, in holding government accountable to the people they serve, in safeguarding the freedom of expression, even when the voices were inconvenient or unpopular, or in upholding the dignity of labor and the rights of the most marginalized. Justice Oka's decisions have consistently reaffirmed the core values enshrined in our Constitution. But what makes Justice Oka's presence in the courtroom remarkable is not only his judicial acumen, but his ability to also don the role of a teacher. In many ways, he has been a professor of law and ethics within the courtrooms. He constantly reminded members of the bar that a lawyer is first and foremost an officer of the court, and only thereafter a representative of the client. Though I had no opportunity of arguing a case before him, what I could hear from the members of the bar, because I am quite, he could be stern at times. You have also seen scolding lawyers on multiple occasions. But those who watched him closely knew that behind his firmness was the intention of a dedicated teacher. Like a seasoned professor guiding his students, he held lawyers to high standards, not to intimidate, but to encourage. He taught the lawyers that advocacy is not just about eloquence, but about precision, ethics, and sincerity. His courtroom was a place where the craft of lawyering was constantly being refined and where ethical advocacy was always encouraged. Justice Oka's courtroom was also a place of learning, reflection, and growth for all those who appeared before him. What is equally admirable is the sheer energy and discipline with which Justice Oka has worked over the years. As somebody told us, when he became a judge, he did not take an official accommodation in Mumbai, and every day he was traveling from Thane to Mumbai in the morning and again evening along with the files. I'm really amazed at the energy that he possesses. While managing an immense caseload, hearing hundreds of matters week after week, he still found time, often during weekend events, to guide young lawyers, engage with members of the district judiciary, and mentor law students who are preparing to enter the legal profession. His deep investment in the future of the legal community is both rare and inspiring. I must place on record his contribution for developing the National Law University at Aurangabad. Single-handedly, he brought repute to one of the most important national law universities in the country. Environment, ecology, and liberty of citizens are the subjects close to the heart of Justice Oka. You know about his commitment to the environmental justice, the precautionary principle, a cornerstone of environmental law, holds that proactive measures must be taken to prevent irreparable harm to the environment. I won't be speaking long because I reserve to speak in the evening. His unwavering commitment to justice could be seen from what has happened in the last 2 days, and I am personally privy to it. Yes, day before yesterday evening, the lawyers from Maharashtra had arranged function to honor both of us. We attended. He did not wait for the dinner because he said he had to complete the judgments. And after the dinner, when I went to home at around 11:30, 12, I got a call from him that such and such thing has happened. It was really a difficult moment for him. But I was sure that, knowing him, because when he lost his father in Bombay, as a judge of Bombay, he had taken off only for 1 day, and also instructed all his colleagues that whoever wants to come for condolence, they should meet him only in the court and not come all the way to Thane. He went yesterday night, traveled throughout the night, attended the funeral, and came back again in the evening and started working on the judgments and delivered 11 judgments. I read from Marathi newspaper today that his mother, Vasanti, was, apart from a very learned person, he pursued the painting, and it was reported in the newspaper that the qualities of strong determination, strong will, sensitivity are inherited by him from his departed mother. On this occasion, I, on behalf of all my colleagues and all of you, pay heartfelt condolences to the departed soul. Today, as we gather to honor him, I would like to say to all members of the bar and bench, let us not forget the values that Justice Oka has exemplified throughout his career. Let us remember his tireless commitment to justice, his devotion to constitutional principles, and his belief in the power of law to bring about meaningful changes. On a personal note, I will deeply miss his presence at the Supreme Court. But I'm happy that exactly 6 months after, I will also follow in suit. Both of us have already decided that we will not be accepting any post-retirement assignment, and therefore we can think of working together. I'm confident that this is not the end of his association with the legal community. Even in retirement, I'm sure that Justice Abhay Oka will continue to inspire, to mentor, and to contribute to the cause of justice in meaningful ways. Some Arlapalle has referred about contribution of Anuja Vaini. I had reserved it to be spoken in the evening, but I agree with Mr. Arlapalle that without his contribution, without her contribution, he could not have been where he is today. In celebrating him today, we also celebrate the values he has stood for, a legacy that will continue to illuminate the path of generations to come. I'm sure that his third innings, which are likely to start shortly, will be as illustrious as his first two innings. So somebody said that he will have a longer time with his family. I have my own doubts about it, but at least he should increase some share of the time to the family. I wish him and all his family members a very healthy and long, happy life. Thank you. Brother Mercy, if you want to add something.
I really had been very fortunate. I've got an opportunity to sit with him for quite a long time. And I think whatever I would be, maybe in the Supreme Court, as far as that is concerned, would be some contribution, most of it maybe from what I've learned from him, the way he conducted himself, the way he conducted the court, how he dealt with the bar. Stern, firm, but always conscientious. Concerned he was, caring he was, but maybe at times it didn't really reflect. But the heart was really very, very, I must say, concerned and so touchy at times. Well, this I can say because of my personal interaction which I had, which I'm going to miss now, the coffee which we had been having in his chamber at times. And then we had that interaction. These are few occasions when you actually talk about things, and you get together and talk. And then you get to know about the person concerned. He had been such a wonderful person as a human being. As I've said, stern, very confident, and very sure of what he wanted to do and what he was doing. He was even sure as to what he was actually leading it to. That made him more effective and I think assertive. All these qualities, if you have, the respect which he gets now, which is reflected from whatever you have said and what I have heard, I will not repeat further. I think not a word has been said which would be qualified to be not being imbibed in him, the qualities. I wish him all best in his life for the future. And only one request, as everyone has made. Give some time to yourself and your family. He has been working very hard and had been hardly sleeping. So that, I think, a personal request from my side, which I thought I shouldn't be, but yes, I would at this moment make a request. Wishing him all the best and wishing him and his family all wonderful time together. Thank you.
Today, in fact, I must confess, after hearing all that is said for last 1 hour, 20 minutes, I am speechless. And perhaps today is the first and last day of my judicial career where I have not prevented lawyers from talking. Because I could not stop. I have seen such a great love and affection for me by the members of the bar that made me speechless. Many talked about what I should be doing in future. I have much to say about what you have said. I say that in the evening, your Chief Justice has to preside over a bench. But everyone talked about second inning or third inning. When I was listening to this, I always thought that while sitting on the bench, I always believed, since you are using cricketing terminology, I'm taking recourse to that. I played like a one-day match. And in one-day match, there is no second inning. And unfortunately, we don't have practice of impact players. So today, at least I'm not thinking about playing one more inning. It will take some time for me to reflect upon it. Before I close, I don't wish much more time because I will be speaking at length in the evening. I believe that this is one court which can uphold the constitutional liberties. And that has been my humble endeavor. And I'm sure that with collective efforts of so many giants who are sitting here, this court will continue to uphold liberty because that was the dream of the framers of the Constitution. And it was my honest endeavor to do that. And I'm sure that in that honest endeavor, I may have offended two people, two lawyers. But I always believed that a judge has to be very firm, a judge has to be very strict, and a judge should not hesitate to offend anyone. I remember a great judge who had on the dais here. I'll not name him, but he had advised me that please remember one thing, you are not becoming a judge to become popular. And I followed that advice to the hilt. And that's why, so indirectly today it was said that sometimes I was very harsh. But I was harsh only for one reason. I wanted to uphold the principles laid down by our Constitution. And my heart is full with what you have said. And I'm really, as I said, I'm really rendered speechless today. I thank all of you from my bottom of my heart. And I must say, before I end, I was here only for 3 years and 9 months, but I always cherish my memories about this court, the submissions made before me, which helped me to deliver verdicts. I thank everyone from bottom of my heart. I thank my Chief Justice. We have been good friends for years. I thank Brother Justice Masi. I know that how it was difficult for my junior colleagues to sit with me. I remember Solicitor General reminding me once on every Monday or Friday at 3 o'clock that don't deprive of lunch. And I followed his advice and then started taking break for 20 minutes. So I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.